out of our systems.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. You motherfucker, I'd knock your fucking cock off your block.
I'd fucking knock you up, bitch.
Language.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We'll explain that in a minute,
Today...
folks. Hey,
okay.
hey, shut up.
Ah!
It's not time yet for that. People gotta know what show they're watching, what episode it is. This is, of course...
Fuck, what show are we on?
This is Degeneracy Live.
Is this lolcow?
Ah!
Is this lolcow Rewind?
Is
We're on welcome to
Thank
Degeneracy
fucking God it's
Rewind,
not.
everyone.
Billy, where are you?
Episode 90. Hello. This is real, by the way. I made sure that was right. Episode 90, which means we are only 10 episodes away from the centennial episode of the show, where we will
Also,
make a
so cool.
determination whether or not to continue this series from that point.
We're leaning towards no, but we'll see.
We shall see. 90
We shall
episodes is a lot. You know, there's probably episodes you haven't seen. If you go back and watch them. I'm letting you guys know off the top of the bat that this episode's going to suck. So if you want to skip this episode, go ahead. I wouldn't be offended. Check something else out. Series established this bit of just screaming.
Yeah, do we need to explain why this episode is gonna suck?
Well, hang on. Let me look at the list here of running gags that we're gonna have.
Oh, that's
throughout
right.
The show. We got series gonna scream intermittently.
Yeah.
At some point during the episode, Bronze's house is gonna get ripped from its foundation.
Yes.
That's going to be a funny one. I'm looking forward to that.
There's no tornado. Bronze is saying there is. I'm just gonna take it out.
Yeah. There's
I was gonna shovel.
We're gonna obviously do the holidays. Then we gotta do.
We're into the Holocaust.
We're gonna do the Holocaust. Wait, did we? No, we're not gonna do that this show.
Okay.
Okay.
We're waiting for the IRL show.
Okay.
Numbers. There's been a
numbers.
lot that's happened since then. So I guess yeah. So are we ready to make the magic happen, everyone?
I guess
It's magic
Hell.
time.
Fucking. Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Degeneracy Live, episode 90, here on the Degeneracy Live YouTube channel. Here we got Drake, Bronze, Siri, SRV.
Me.
Standard classic cast today. How is freaking everyone? Starting with SRV. Go.
I'm doing flippin' amazing, dude. This is going to be the best episode ever.
Yeah.
Freak yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right, Siri. What have you been up to?
Hey.
I don't know. I don't do shit. I found out about this thing called masturbation recently. That shit's gross, man. That's gross. That's fucked up.
That shit's really gonna take off in a few years.
Yeah, they're gonna make this thing. It's called gooning.
We're doing a comedy set for a middle school. I don't know why you're doing all this language here.
No, that fits right in. Don't worry.
Okay. Yeah, actually, you're right.
Do you think if we published any of the episodes to our show, any of them would get like an NC-17 rating by the MPAA? We haven't had anything.
Yeah, probably the episode where you guys tried to get me to strip naked.
That's fine. That works.
Is macing yourself, does that, like, constitute?
No.
Yes.
I wonder.
Because there's jackass.
Constitution?
Ah. See, there we go. That was good. I forgot to mention that. That was one of the bits we had lined up prior to the show.
We're gonna destroy the Constitution.
Yes.
Oh, we don't have to.
As we do every show.
We're gonna debunk the Constitution. Debunk the idea of human rights. That was a thing a Christian I heard yesterday say about how atheists believe in falsehoods like human rights.
Damn.
That was a crazy episode, by the way. You should watch that show, God is Imaginary, every other Sunday on the Drake Dragsaw YouTube channel.
Sundays at 9 on TBS.
It's on.
Watch a replay of it now. Right now.
Or yeah, we probably would rather watch that. It's only an hour.
Get out.
The show's only an hour instead of 2 because it's just me. And I was like, I can probably fill an hour. That works.
Yeah.
How have you been, Bronze? Did you watch God is Imaginary?
I caught a bit of it as it was live, and you talked about some things. It was nice.
Like what? What'd I say?
What did you say?
This was yesterday.
Yeah, you were after you. It was after the Pope stuff. I think you were in the middle of watching the human rights debunked video
Oh, there we go.
because I
Basi-
saw like a caricature of that one like TikTok atheist guy.
yeah. What's funny about that is that he was presenting human rights as like well, atheists aren't so inexorable either. Like they claim, oh, we only believe in the truth or whatever, but you guys believe in human rights which aren't given to you by any authority. And it's like, and
Yes.
so like what's the point? They can't even conceive of the idea that like we don't need a higher authority to our opinions. They just are. How have you been though, Bronze? I didn't ask just how you've been generally.
I've been pretty good, as has been previously established. I am currently the area that I live in is currently in a tornado watch. And at around 8 p.m.
viewers, see if you can triangulate that location, that
Yeah,
information to find
and at
Bronze's
about
location.
at probably the back half of the show, are gonna get hit by a strength 4 thunderstorm, which has not hit this area since 2011.
That's
So
pretty good foreshadowing there for
that'll be interesting.
the
Stay
epic
tuned for that.
conclusion.
My power might go out. My fucking ceiling might fucking fly
Your
off.
town could become like Gummo. What was the
Yeah.
name of the town from Gummo? Like Xylee? What was the name of the town? It began with an X. Like Xenon, Wisconsin or some shit.
Gummo.
The town was called Gummo.
The town of Gummo, yeah.
Yeah, that's what.
Oh shit, we're talking about Gummo?
Well, we're talking about how the town, like the main setting of Gummo.
We're talking about how I'm going to become Gummo after the tornado.
Yeah.
Oh shit, yeah.
We're talking about Gumby?
Yes.
Oh, you weren't
We
here.
should
when
show
we watched-
SRV Gummo.
weren't there for Gumbo.
That'd fuck him up.
Drake, turn on the entirety of Gumbo for the stream.
Gumbo. We were watching.
Editor, play Gumbo.
We were watching a movie called Gummo. It's about a town that's been hit by a tornado in like the 90s, and they've just been living in fucking I was about to say prostitution, destitution.
Close. Those are nested concepts.
Oh, okay. Yeah, excellent show. Excellent movie even, I might say.
Destitution is what you live in. Prostitution is what your wife
Death the
lives
Notion.
in.
Death Note.
Death Note. Death to a Nation.
We were watching Death Note a while back, and we told SRV, "Oh, you should watch it." And he went, "Okay." And then you watch it all in like 2 nights.
I
Yeah, pretty much.
It's not very long. It's like 30.
Yeah.
It's 37 half-hour episodes. You could easily bang it out in a weekend if you wanted to.
Yeah.
And I recommend you should probably watch this instead of the show, as we established.
Yeah, there are plenty of better options, but we thank you for sticking around anyway.
Yeah, we understand you have a choice in online entertainment, and we appreciate that you've chosen
Yes.
Degeneracy Live.
We understand that
Make
you
better
have free will.
choices.
I got us on the four screen right now. How do you like it? You don't
Wow.
see this view very often, do you?
That's me.
I tend to do that where it's like I try to point to things on like the screen, but I always get it backwards. I always do it wrong.
You.
Like if I'm trying to point to someone, I do it the opposite way,
Yeah.
always by mistake. That's a tough optical illusion. All right, what are the holidays today?
What holidays are today?
Well, there's one important holiday that I think we need to preface at the beginning of this show.
All right,
April
fuck
28th
yeah.
is of course Clean Comedy Day.
Frick yeah.
Yeah, so that's why this entire episode we are not going to swear a single time starting now. I don't know if we have yet,
And-
but
Now look, I want to add some stakes to this. Every time somebody swears on this show, a tornado goes through Bronze's house.
so be
Oh no!
careful.
No!
Oh no. That didn't work. I have this on like studio mode that I shook your like little view around, but that didn't work.
Does
Does this work?
Yes, that's a tornado.
Whoa.
It looks like you're shaking a baby.
Being phased through the second dimension.
Oh, what the fuck was that? You can see it. I just like phased into hell.
There's another one.
Whoa, he's shaking. I did it.
Whoa.
This is
Our
freaking
Holidays are
crazy.
today.
All right. What are the holidays are today?
What holidays are today?
Today is we have two birthdays on the list, but I think they're both interesting. One of them is musician Melanie Martinez.
Oh, that.
Ew.
I'm not sure what the opinion of the room is of her, but
Thank you for.
Didn't she invent rape?
That was John Rape's theory.
Oh,
No, she-
shit.
Welcome
she
to
did-
the
she
show,
did-
Lord Magicus.
she did not invent rape, but she's like the
She
Thomas Edison.
perfected it.
And the second birthday we have is reality TV star Big Ed.
Oh, good.
Who?
Pull up Big Ed, Drake.
Is that the horse that
You-
speaks?
Close. You'll know him when you see him. He's like one of the thumb people from Spy Kids.
Cool.
He's missing a neck.
I got sorry, I got turned around here. Magicus said some other things in chat, but the freaking censorious people at YouTube hit it, so make sure that
Damn.
everyone sees it.
Magicus.
Lord Magicus.
I've never seen Spy Kids 1.
He's the
I have
thumb
seen.
guy.
I have seen like Spy Kids 3 7 million times.
What is the what was the thing you were just saying?
Big Ed.
Big-
Show me Big Ed right now. Also, you're not screen sharing.
I'm literally pulling. Okay, so I don't know if you know how live content works. I'm pulling it up on a different monitor, and then I'm going over to this transition. I know
Holy
you can't-
shit, it's Big Ed.
I know you can't
It's
see
Big
things,
Ed.
and if you don't see them, they don't exist anymore. But
Yes.
like I can still check this out. Watch.
Ah!
Where'd Big Ed go?
There he is.
So what does he do? What does Big Ed actually do?
Oh,
He's
fat.
a guy who was on a
Oh,
show
he's-
one
he
time
does
and he
fat?
looks funny.
He does.
Hey, Big Ed's around.
Big Ed's around.
He bigs around the Ed.
He puts mayonnaise in his hair, right?
Twin Peaks.
There we go. That's what we're talking about.
Great reality show, Twin Peaks.
Twink Peaks.
All right. 4'11", huh? Today's his birthday, so
Yes.
congratulations. 60 trips around the sun, my friend.
Congrats,
You
Big
did
Ed.
it.
All right. Anyone else interesting, worthwhile, worth our
It's
attention?
Ludacris's birthday.
No, it isn't.
No,
No, not yet. We're almost there.
Yes, indeed.
Not really.
Ludacris, I'm hotter than Nevada. Ready to break the steering column on your Impala. If it get caught, bail out Popoa, tell him holla. And Corda never show up like Austin Powers, Faja.
Ah!
That was the musical segment
Shut
of
the
this
fuck
show.
up.
I hope you enjoyed the musical break.
All right.
Here's Conway Twitty.
All right, everyone. So,
Where we go?
Where am I?
10 balls.
10 balls.
Speaking of
Each
Twin
ball
Peaks,
Each ball
has
has a
number.
number.
I need to get a better way to open this jar.
Good time to get me off camera.
World
of
of numbers.
Pick a number.
Pick
10.
number.
SRV said 10.
I
Series
said 4.
6.
6. Anyone in chat want to guess? Now's your
Lord
chance.
Magicus, now's your
3,
time.
Do it without swearing.
1.
Today's number.
Today's number is 2.
Uh,
The 2
Gotta be
kinda-
10 eventually.
Has it ever been 10? We gotta get someone.
Rick.
What was the first
I
number
think it's
we
been
had?
like once.
What was
I
the
don't
first?
fucking know.
Wasn't the
that
first
a
number
real-
10?
Is that a real guitar
Maybe.
you just have like sitting in the corner? That is fucking...
That was the final straw.
He gets up and smashes it. Oh no.
Freebird.
I can play this shit acoustic. What song you want to hear?
John the Fisherman.
In the Garden of Eden.
I mean, Inagata Devita, you fucking moron. What the fuck?
Here we go.
Here we go.
We're back to the musical segment.
Does he know where the fuck he's at?
Whoa.
Whoa, look
The
at him
guitar
moving
god.
shred. Wow.
Choke on this, Eric Clapton.
I'd say choke on this Paul McCartney, but he's already choking on John Lennon's dick.
Now all our musically inclined viewers, I want you to transcribe that into real guitar. I'm
I
sure
don't know
that'll
if
be
you
a
noticed I
masterpiece.
didn't have a guitar pick, so I was just using a quarter.
Okay.
What state do you think the quarter is from?
Dimebag Daryl.
Nevada. What the fuck did Dimebag Daryl have to do with anything?
I don't know. Money.
People are
Time,
I
quarter,
fucking
nickel.
I fucking love Pantera. I'm gonna be real. Dimebag
I
Daryl
love
was
Pantera
racist.
bread too.
Dimebag Daryl was racist.
Pantera
We can all
bread.
admit that. It's okay. But like people will be like, nah, he wasn't racist. He loved everyone. He just said
He
that
hated
black
everyone.
people. He just said black people can't play guitar as good as white people and called them the N-word.
Black
and shit.
people
That's not racist.
play guitar like this. White people play
There we
guitar
go.
like this. Anyways, what state do you think
Black people will be like,
this quarter's from? What state?
Rhode
Nevada.
Island.
Siri said Nevada. You said what?
Idaho.
Maryland?
Rhode Island.
Rhode Island? Colorado.
Oh.
Okay.
I was closest. Do I get anything?
No. That's gonna be the next bit.
The various states the quarters are from.
I just want it to be the IRL episode because when the IRL episode comes, that means I get to fucking
This
take
is
Polly's
definitely
fucking head
a
off.
filler episode till then, because the IRL episode, we have a semi-official date. That is, let me check my itinerary. This is me unironically checking my itinerary.
Tomorrow. Let's go.
The 27th of June.
Ooh.
You could hitch a ride on a tornado. That would be awesome.
Mark your
Mhm.
calendar.
Guys, there's
That's
a
my
fucking
wedding
crack
anniversary.
addict in chat again.
Oh, there is? What a shame.
Yeah. Dude, we're not giving you $10 for another fucking rock, dude. This is the last time we tell you, man.
A serious 2028 run won't happen. If you knew Trump, you would know he likes to joke around and have fun. Oh, it was just in jest? Like how... What was the other thing that was in jest? Saying
all the
that
tariffs and all the deportations, those were just jesting.
He literally unironically... Here we go. Let's play the other thing he said in jest.
Would fix that within 24 hours. And if I
Wow.
win, before I get into the office, I will have that war settled.
Can y'all hear it? Oh, yeah, no.
100% sure.
Fucking... Paul, you're not
yeah.
screen sharing.
Oh yeah, you're not fucking screen sharing, huh?
Sorry. Sorry.
Maybe you should fucking listen to words that people say to you.
All right, here we go. Check this out. This is in jest.
I would fix that within 24 hours. And if I win, before I get into the office, I will have that war settled. 100% sure.
100% sure.
Before I even arrive at the Oval Office, shortly after I win the presidency, I will have the horrible war between Russia and Ukraine settled, and we'll do it quickly. Before I even arrive at the Oval Office, shortly after I win the presidency, I will have the horrible war between Russia and Ukraine settled, and it will settle with Ukraine and Russia. I will get them to settle that war very quickly, even before I become president, as a president-elect. Ukraine and Russia.
He did all that, didn't he?
I will get
He
that
settled it.
negotiated and ended
This is
before I
all
ever
the
take
times
office.
that he
I'll do
said
it
it.
after the election as president-elect. I would get a settlement in 24 hours, and even now I could solve that in 24 hours. I would.
And this was an interview where he goes, well, I said that figuratively, and I said that as an exaggeration because to make a point. And, you know, it gets, of course, by the fake news. Blah, 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 blah. Obviously, people know that when I said that, it was said in jest.
Of course.
He is lying.
Think so? It was said in jest, of course.
He
He's
says he will do things, but then doesn't do them, and then says he doesn't do things, and then does them.
Well, no, he tried to
I
do
mean,
something. He told them to knock it off.
If you
How did that
remember-
not work?
If you remember at
Yeah.
the top of the year, he was talking about how, you know, I'm not going to pursue a third term. Like it was an option. We were talking about that literally, and then now
I was on the fence.
he's selling Trump 2028 merch, and it's possible that he's being provocative, and he's gonna like, oh, I'm gonna run my son,
It's like half. It's like probably half provocative.
but also like
But also, like, if you
remember the
If you're
bygone
president-
year of 2020, when he lost the election, the only election he lost that he ran in, he said it was fake. He said that it was rigged and that he really won.
yes,
And he's never let this go, despite the numerous lawsuits, the numerous judges proving that everything he said was a lie. Literally every it's the most debunkable claim of all time that the election was stolen.
Yes.
Oh my
And the
god.
thing is about this, right? Like, they're saying like, oh, he's just trolling, he's just pranking. And like a merry prankster can be fun, but not when the merry prankster has access to nukes.
What's
The
hilarious
Merry
about what Crack
Prankster is the
Miser
leader of the biggest country of all time.
What's hilarious about what Crack Miser is saying right now is that, he's admitting that Trump is literally saying that he's going to run in 2028, and also he could be joking about it. Only one of those is true. Only one of those options is true. So he's saying both things, so one of those is a lie. You're an idiot. You're put in timeout for the show. Sorry. Thank you for playing.
Wow.
Also, like, I will say, as president, why
You
are
shouldn't
you
be
doing
trolling.
this? Why
No.
why are you doing a funny troll prank to own people as the president of the United States of America?
Let's read.
Like
Go
I
ahead.
know that like the whole everyone was fucking saying that like the reason Trump won was because he was subverting the political system, but
He
maybe he's
subverted
just
our
like
expectations as audience members.
yeah, but what if he is just like an evil moron?
Imagine that.
Imagine that. Maybe he's just like
Yeah.
a
What if he was like
crooked salesman who's just good at talking to stupid people.
Yeah. No, that's inconceivable. He
Yeah,
would
this is
never
the art of the
for example,
deal.
He's just joking.
he would never, for example, deport children without habeas corpus or legal representation to countries that they were not born in violation of their 14th Amendment rights, but
Oh well.
Trump 2028 merch just went on sale. What does this mean? Trump Store,
What
the
does
official
this mean?
retail website for the Trump Organization. Oh, really?
I thought you were just gonna say official retard website.
Has added a handful of Trump 2028 items to its inventory, both sold in red. The hat is priced at $50 and the shirt at $36. Does this suggest President Trump could be eyeing a third term? Last month, he told NBC News that it was too early to think about a third term, but he didn't completely rule out the
Excuse me?
option. We talked about this when it happened too.
Yeah.
Let's watch the clip. Trump says he's not joking. Let's
ruling
see.
out the possibility of seeking a third term, even though it's prohibited by the Constitution's 22nd Amendment. He's joked about it at rallies.
It will be the greatest honor of my life to serve not once, but twice, or 3 times, or 4 times.
But now, in
no.
an exclusive phone interview
I'm just
with
joking,
NBC's
unless-
Kristen Welker, he says that there are, quote, methods for doing so, and that a lot of people want
Such
him to do
as?
it. Asked to clarify, he said, I'm not joking, but added it is far too early to think about it. Asked about one
Interesting.
possible...
Of course. That's the real issue. It's not
But
the
he's
right time.
joking. But he's joking, guys. When he says, I'm not joking, that means he's joking. That's him joking.
It's a
By no-
5D chess joke. He
By
says
him.
he's not joking, but he's really joking.
Was his fucking physical? Was that him joking? 224 fucking pounds.
Now that's a good joke.
200. We got his physical right here. What is it? He's 6'9",
Yeah.
224 pounds, 13-inch penis, IQ
13-inch
It's
girth
all on
too.
there.
290 plus IQ.
Yeah. He's immensely. You know.
method. Vice President J.D. Vance running for president and then passing the baton if he won. Trump responded.
That's not allowed. To be vice president, you have to be eligible to become president, and obviously, since you've served 2 terms already, that means you cannot become president.
He would also not want J.D. Vance to be president.
That's fair. It's possible he could be because the vice president can be president for 2 years and then run for 2 more years. So, like, for example, who was president when how am I forgetting this? When Nixon stepped down? Ford, yeah. Ford could have ran and won 2 more terms after after Nixon stepped down because he served less than 2 years as president there. But it doesn't work the opposite way. You can't run for 2 full terms as president and then get a half term as vice president turned president. Can't do that. Trump talks about how, now they're making Ghostbusters with only women. You can't do that. But, you can fuck the Constitution. He's fucked it 15 different ways this Sunday already, talking about, literally deporting people without due process, which is a violation of their Fourth Amendment,
no
the 14th
due process
Amendment.
for criminals.
No due process for literally that is the exact definition of due process. They are entitled
no due
to
process until they're proven innocent.
Responding, quote, well, that's one, but there are others too. The president later speaking on Air Force One.
I don't want to talk about a third term now because no matter how you look at it, we got a long time to go.
How did that answer any of the questions that were asked? How did that answer?
That sort of implies that he's still.
Do you think they asked him a question?
He just freaked
out. The president also threatening extra tariffs on Russian oil, telling NBC News by phone he was, quote, very angry and pissed off at Russia's President Putin for criticizing Ukraine.
I'm getting really steamed now.
Oh, he broke the clean comedy thing.
Oh no.
Well, I guess regular show said that.
Deal with him.
And after slapping 25% tariffs on all foreign-made cars, Trump telling NBC News he couldn't care less if foreign automakers raise prices.
Cool.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
That's fine. I don't drive.
I love that this guy is the leader of.
Well, he doesn't drive. No, he's president. He doesn't drive anymore. That's awesome. Yeah. He's just like, I'm gonna lower prices day one, and then prices rise. Oh, I couldn't give a damn.
You think I buy eggs?
Wall Street now bracing for another potentially wild week, with President Trump's new reciprocal tariffs on other countries set to take effect Wednesday.
We had Liberation Day, as you know, on April 2nd.
Meanwhile, with protests at Tesla dealerships growing nationwide, overnight the company's CEO, top Trump ally Elon Musk, holding a town hall in Wisconsin.
Oh, how cool. Look at that cool jump.
Cool.
He's so cool.
That's the X sign, by the way. If you're wondering, this is footage of when he tried to bribe voters into voting Republican, and then he lost, and that was like in a +10 Republican district or some shit for that for that judge. 2026 is going to be awesome. I'm actually going to be flipping out. We're actually going to stream the entirety of the 2026 midterms in real time, and that's going to be a party.
Oh, okay.
There's no way, right?
Didn't we say this for the election stream?
Trump's approval rating right now is like the lowest it's ever been in a century for a president. I think the only time there's an exception to that was when we were in World War II under Hoover.
Mm.
So, I mean, other than that, 39%. And it's like 56% disapprove. There's some little weird centrist view there. We don't talk to them. They're not people. But 39% of people are the only people that are just like, yes, I approve of Donald Trump. 56% make the affirmative position to say, no, I'm anti-Donald Trump.
Ahead of a crucial state Supreme Court election tomorrow, Democrats are accusing Musk of trying to buy the seat.
This is awesome to watch in retrospect. They lost. The Supreme Court election, the Republicans lost.
The billionaire has offered money to voters there who are willing to sign a petition against, quote, activist judges. Musk handing out...
Oh, wow. They had to sign a petition against activist judges. Activists. By the way...
Activist judges. Judges who judge...
By the way, being an activist is has no definition to it at all. Actually, by definition, an activist is just someone that involves themselves in current events and is knowledgeable. Fuck that.
$1 million checks last night.
This is one of those things that may not seem that it's going to affect the entire destiny of humanity, but I think it will.
The destiny of humanity. Shut the fuck up.
This is one of those...
Put this man in a cage at the bottom of the ocean.
This is one thing that may not seem it may affect the destiny of humanity, but it will. Let's get a quote for that. Let's get a quote.
Handing out $1 million checks last night.
This is one of those things that may not seem that it's going to affect the entire destiny of humanity, but
this is one of those things that may not seem that it's going to affect the destiny of humanity. this Supreme
That's an
Court,
Oppenheimer quote, isn't it?
the Supreme Court election in Wisconsin.
I think it will.
President Trump also telling NBC
He did
News
the
he
pause.
has no
Because
plans to
Wisconsin
fire
is, of
anyone
course,
following that.
the most important state.
I mean, Wisconsin is a swing state. It does
Yeah.
it does kind of dictate the timbre of how elections will go, but no.
Yeah.
All right. The shirt has the tagline "Rewrite the rules" printed on it. Oh, wonder what that
okay.
means.
What a good joke.
Great joke. Rewrite the rules.
So what's the like punchline?
Because they would never do this. Shut the fuck up, bro.
Experience the world of Trump.
The world of Trump. The Trump experience. Trump 2028.
Why would you?
Parenthetical. Rewrite the rules. Good joke, guys.
What is
hilarious joke?
What is this furthering?
Jokes. Memes.
Comedy.
What is this messaging furthering?
It's funny because you know, of course, that he can't do that. And the Trump supporters know that they can't do that. So if they see Trump's name on a ballot, they'll know, oh, but he can't win, so they won't select it.
Ah, okay.
But that'll never happen, of course. I mean, it literally won't happen. But here's what I think is actually gonna happen. He's gonna like fuck everything up in 2028, where he's gonna insist and like continue to run because he's a billionaire. He doesn't have to drop out of the race. He could keep campaigning and rallying, again and again and again, even if the CPAC doesn't back him to run. The RNC, I mean, even if the RNC doesn't back him to run because they can't, he's still gonna run alongside whoever's running and fuck everything up. I mean, even if he somehow theoretically like won, like people kept writing him in and won, he would not be able to get inaugurated. It just wouldn't happen. It's in the Constitution. That cannot be changed. Like, he's gonna fuck everything up for whoever runs under the Republican ticket in 2028. Meanwhile, like,
it's gonna be very funny.
Yeah, like literally, he's gonna do the thing that I thought might happen in 2024, where if someone else other than Trump won the nomination, like Ron DeSantis or something, Trump wasn't gonna back down. Trump was gonna run third party and split the vote.
Yeah.
I think he's just gonna brute force it. It's like it wouldn't be illegal for him to keep running like campaigns for Trump 2028 and just keep going, like not stopping. Like that's what he was doing during the election, during the 2020 election. He kept insisting, I'm gonna be inaugurated on January 20th. I won the election. This was a fraudulent election. This was stolen. Literally saying those words.
Yeah.
And
he would never do any of these
kept
things.
saying that,
He
keep
just likes
saying
a
that.
joke.
Yeah. But this, I guess Crackmiser is right in that quite literally he would it would never happen where he would win a third term because that's just illegal. That wouldn't, but he's trying, it affects the timbre of the whole conversation when he is saying that I'm going to defy the Constitution and run again. He has no regard for the Constitution. He's actually he's still insisting that it's legal. He goes like, there's ways you could do it. There's little loopholes. There are methods to it.
I'm not sure how hypocritical this might be being said on this podcast in particular, but I don't really get the conservative instinct to do everything through the lens of what would make blue people the most angry.
That's because their whole culture is just like a groiper emoji. Like that's their literature. That's what they learn from is Twitter. Their news is fucking at end wokeness and at libs of TikTok on x.com. Fuck you guys. All right. No, just don't want to contribute to the conversation.
Fuck you want me to say?
Well, I mean it's like an aspect of being this kind of conservative is being so distant from all of these issues. either because they don't affect you or you're too stupid to know that they affect you. And so you feel as though you're better than all of the people who are complaining around you that their lives are getting worse because of the things you voted for.
And I think that's even like, it was fine, I guess, when Biden was in office, because it's just a bunch of people on the internet, but now it's in the White House. You have like libs of TikTok holding up Epstein files and stuff.
Yeah, of course. And that's why they're public now, right? They've been released, unredacted.
Yes.
Of course.
It wasn't a photo shoot. I see. By the way, it was funny seeing Musk there, right? You know, get it humiliated in front of the state of Wisconsin, because this was shortly before he said he was going to leave politics. Musk wants to leave politics because he's tired of attacks from the left, report says.
Because his feelings have been hurt.
I mean, there was like, you know, when people were like making fun of him because the stock prices went down, he goes, "It's fucking disgusting to pray for the downfall of an American corporation. You know, as the Constitution says, we the corporations, the American citizens must kowtow and praise the corporations." And
yeah, he was calling Tim Walz like a disgusting man and stuff.
A disgusting man because he's saying, "Check this out, his stock's going down." What a fool.
Dude pulled his fucking phone out and was like, "Hey guys,
he pulled his phone out and was like, if you want to smile, check this out." And it's the Tesla stock going down.
He pulled his phone out and played Despacito into the microphone.
Dude was doing a fucking stand-up set and fucking Elon is heated about it.
Yeah, triggered by jokes almost. Who would do that?
Comedy is now legal.
Comedy is no longer legal in
You
Wisconsin.
can't even make jokes about... You can't joke about anything anymore without Elon Musk just harassing you on X.com. That's hilarious that he's like trying to spit it into like being like anti-patriotic, that you don't support the glorious institution of Tesla. Literally, yeah. It was like you're
the all-American brand that we've all known and loved for thousands of years.
Yeah, this classic American Elon Musk. That's one of the things that actually pisses me off more than anything with Elon Musk, is that like he was not born here. He did not grow up here in the United States. He's an American citizen, but like he has no idea what it's like to be an American. Because the only time he's lived in America is when he was a rich fucking oligarch, right? Being literally the richest man in the world. He has no perspective on the American lifestyle at all. I mean, you see him on Twitter like try to replicate it, and it's so funny because like his humor is like nothing but just word association. There was someone that posted like a custom Darth Vader teapot or something, and he just responds with "I'm a little teapot" in Twitter, and like the Twitter replies. That's a joke to him.
Wow.
That qualifies
the biting wit.
Yeah. It literally is just word association. Let me find that actually to make sure I'm not fucking...
Which of course, we are better than.
Of course. Literally, unironically better than.
We would never engage in word association.
Yeah, but he has like the humor of a Facebook grandma.
Here it is right here. I'm a little... Hilarious. Hilarious. This is literally him...
Put this man in charge of all of the government's money.
This is how fucking this is him working at 100% capacity in his brain to try and resemble a human being and not a specimen that was grown in a lab. That his only opinions are just regurgitating like whatever popularity polls of the X.com database is. By the way, if you know the answer to this, don't answer. But do you know how much Tesla profits have dropped since 3 months ago in a quarter?
Can't be too bad.
Surely not.
Do you guys know?
I think you told us.
You told all of us.
71%.
71%.
That's a hell of a lot.
Three-fourths of the company's money is down the toilet.
Yeah, in 3 months, and that's when he's like,
3 months.
Whoa. At first, I was like, Now I'm like, whoa.
First I lolled, then I serious.
First you lolled, then
I was afraid. I was petrified.
I mean, he's a public company, so he has to publish like earnings reports, right? And that's probably like with all like the fraud and shit that he puts in his like paperwork, like his buddy Donald, to like increase the value of the documents, which I'm certain he does. So like after that, after the fraud and everything that he does to inflate the value, he still lost 71% of the company's money. It is gone. The valuation is depleted.
It's not like the crazy guy that.
How does he stammers like a bitch? How are you like? He is actually so like poorly spoken that it's unreal. It is actually a marvel.
Something that I still find amusing and kind of dystopian, but still amusing, is that like there are so many people, so many stupid people that are probably less prevalent that I think they are because I'm on the internet too much. That like this includes Elon Musk himself, who see like people like Elon Musk and Donald Trump as like underdogs that are fighting against the system.
Yes. That's literally the
when one of them is the richest man of all time and one of them has been the president of the United States for going to be 8 years.
Yeah, that's hilarious. They always try to have that underdog style. That's literally their marketing. It's like they're the underdog, they're the counterculture,
Yeah, the left is trying to keep us down.
They're the conservative counterculture. Don't think about those two words too much.
Yeah. I mean, just watch the inauguration. Who was fucking there? Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, pedophile, John Pedophile was there.
Oh, yeah.
Which one?
Stephen Money.
They brought Jeffrey Epstein back from the dead?
Well, he's never heard. Well, Trump's never heard of him.
The Village People.
Trump's never heard of him. Who else was there? It was like, I think someone was like...
Carrie Underwood.
Like, the value of everyone standing on stage was like $6 trillion or something.
Yeah.
Which is like greater than the GDP of like, I think Australia. Like the continent of Australia.
And then we also had Elon Musk in the seats acting like he's the younger brother to his older brother's like school baseball game where he's just like playing on his iPad the whole time.
Yeah, 6 trillion is 4 Australias. That's higher than the GDP of India.
Nice.
That's pretty cool.
That firebombs a Tesla dealership. It's
firebombs.
the people pushing the propaganda that caused that guy to do it.
Propaganda.
I don't blame
him. Those are the real
him.
villains here.
Those are the real villains here. The people that push the propaganda about
the propaganda
Tesla.
Of videos of Teslas exploding and not working in any condition that isn't a straight road.
I mean, sure. Maybe I don't even give a shit that fucking Tesla dealerships are getting vandalized. I don't buy the false narrative that it's terrorism or that it's a coordinated attack to harm people.
I mean, honestly,
it's destruction of property.
Honestly, if you're stopping someone from buying a Tesla, you're probably saving their life. Because those things just they're death machines.
They're doing
they
it
just
for
kill you.
They're getting the job done ahead of time. But yeah, I honestly, Elon Musk has perpetrated so much propaganda about minorities, about how trans people are pedophiles and that they're predators and they're going to groom children and stuff, that honestly, fucking any act against him, except fucking violence, I seriously like cannot even like make the fucking devil's advocate argument that well, I gotta disavow the destruction of property. It's fucking property of the richest man in the world. Fuck it. Who gives a fuck?
That's another.
I want you to fuck a Tesla.
That's another aspect to like modern conservatives that I think is funny and dystopian at the same time, where like the left is also kind of in this too, but like the middle left, the people that are actually in government, where they think that like politics is all about like a war of propaganda and marketing and stuff.
The war on terror.
The
Culture
war on terror. Even though, like...
A war on Christmas. It's always, it's been the same thing for 20 years.
Even though in a majority of things, unrelated to what side believes in what things, in any fact, there is a thing that is true and a thing that is not true. And one side happens to be on the side of truth more often than the other. You are just gullible.
How about that? I love also the fake culture war thing, as if conservatives do not literally dictate the entire culture of America with like Christianity, Christmas, Columbus Day. Literally everything about America's culture is conservative. Leftist things that push against that, like Indigenous Peoples Day or Pride Month, etc., those are counterculture. Those are against the grain of American culture, of American society. And people act like those are the dominant culture. That's the dominant religion, as Ben Shapiro said.
This is something we don't think about in terms of like how could this happen? Gay marriage was illegal in the United States until the 2010s.
Until 2015.
The first 3 Five Nights at Freddy's games are older than fucking gay marriage.
Yeah, there were still like 7 states or something that had it illegal. And, literally abortion is illegal in like 20-something states. Let's take a look at an abortion map real quick.
And
tell me that leftists are in charge of the fucking country.
If you have some historical insight, you might know that one side was in favor of gay people existing and one was not.
Abortion is currently banned in 14 states. So it's banned in Idaho, South Dakota, Indiana, Virginia, Kentucky, Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi.
Oh, fuck. I can't get an abortion tomorrow.
Arkansas,
fuck, I was planning on
Oklahoma.
doing that for fun.
It's so fucked up. It's
I just get abortions to pass the time.
I gotta call Daniel. We were planning an abortion.
And then, what does the orange mean? That means so they have a 6-week limit.
At least we can all have our abortions when we're up in the IRL episode.
So in Iowa, in states like Iowa, Nebraska, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida, you can't get abortion after six weeks, which is before many people even realize they're pregnant. Because you got to wait 4 weeks for a missed period, and then you got 2 weeks to realize that you're pregnant from that, when a period can be late 2 weeks just normally because you have a pH imbalance or something. I don't know, I'm not a woman, but this seems like basic biology. Like that's the design of this. That's the point of why it's 6 weeks, so to effectively ban it.
Sadly, none of us on the show know any biological women, so
that's that's effectively what the purpose of the 6-week ban was. That was because Texas put the first 6-week ban in 2020 to try and skate Roe versus Wade, and then they had a hair trigger law where when Roe versus Wade was eventually overturned, they immediately made it illegal. Moving down the ladder there, we got 22 weeks in Ohio, Wisconsin, Kansas, Utah, 18 weeks in Utah. I'm fine with that. That's like how many? That's 5 months. And then in these light blue states, that means gestational limit is fetal viability. So that's the idea that if the fetus could be removed from the woman and grow to maturity, then it is alive. And they do not support aborting it, despite the fact that many fucking conservatives claim, they allow it up until birth. God damn it! No, that's not the case.
They even allow it after the baby has been born, up to 5 years.
And then the dark blue states have no gestational limits. That bothers me a bit, but also, it's literally not my decision. It's like the idea of like me inserting my opinion in any person's life is so foreign to me. Like I think it's a fucking conversation between a woman and her fucking doctor if she wants to have an abortion. And I feel no compunction to dive in there and save that child from getting aborted. I don't care for it too much. It bothers me a little bit, but it would bother me more. It bothers me more that there were like literally 12-year-olds that are fucking dying because they're getting so fucked up because they get raped. They can't have an abortion. They're forced to carry that child to term. And some of them get fucked up for life or die from, not being able to have a healthy pregnancy because they're 12 fucking years old. Any thoughts?
I agree, man.
A man is laughing outside my window.
It's the tornado.
It's the tornado. But no, the sirens are going off outside right now. I think it's just the storm siren right now, but
nice.
We'll see.
We'll see when it comes crashing through your window.
Oh, there's actually a nuke coming to your house. Trump heard what you said.
Yes!
How's this for a fucking joke in a gaff?
Oh, what did you put?
Oh yeah, Elon was wearing a hat that said Trump was right about everything.
I literally had that. Oh yeah, I love that.
Oh yeah.
So we got the picture of Trump was right about everything. So fucking bitch made. There are so many maggers that are bitch made. Like Donald Trump was tweeting on Truth Social. Fuck Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift's a fucking floozy bitch. Who gives a shit? And then Taylor Swift's husband walks up and shakes Donald Trump's hand. Is like, thank you, sir, for saving the country. How fucking bitch made do you gotta be to stand for that shit from anyone? Just saying.
And from Taylor Swift of all things.
Trump was right about everything. We bring your attention back to this once again, as we have numerous times before.
As we always
do. A
do.
classic.
When Elon Musk came to the White House asking me for help on all of his many subsidized projects, I love that. By the way, Tesla has not gotten a single cent cut. They cut all financial spending at one point.
They
but
have no waste.
Yeah. Whether it's electric cars that don't drive long enough, driverless cars that crash, or rocket ships to nowhere, without which subsidies he'd be worthless, and telling me how he's a big Trump fan and Republican, I could have said drop to your knees and beg, and he would have done it.
And he's done it several times.
He did.
I love that he takes this photo with Elon Musk wearing a suit jacket that somehow is too small for him. Richest man in the world, can't buy clothing that fits him. And he takes this picture. He's smiling in the picture, but he knows this fucking tweet is coming. He knows that he's going to make this post later.
Yeah.
He's so insidious.
That's why he's smiling.
I find funny is that like a bunch of people are like, oh, is Trump like a compulsive liar, or like is he like doing shit because he's a businessman, he's got to like stretch the truth? I think like the only thing that motivates the decisions that these people make are what will give me the most money and the most influence. They either know what they're saying is wrong or they are too stupid.
I mean, Elon Musk bought Twitter to fucking buy Trump the election for political influence. That's the whole reason why he did it. Or I guess it's kind of a side effect of it. He was like trying to maximize his return because I think he just bought Twitter just bored one day.
Yeah.
So like some of us like if we
get out of it the whole time.
Some of us, when you make a bad financial decision, you buy a fucking pachinko machine and you have nowhere to put it in your house or something.
No, that's always a good financial decision.
This guy bought Twitter.
This guy bought Twitter, and all he got was a government body.
Some people out there buy a car that they probably shouldn't have bought. Some people spend $44 billion. Some people buy Twitter.
That he puts up polls. And he's like, should I step down?
Yeah.
Yes? Oh, well, I won't.
Oh, he did 2 polls. Should I step down? And then people said yes. And he goes, sorry, I actually, that one was biased. Let's try this again.
For real this time.
It said yes again.
Yeah. And it's like, well, I will abide by the rules. Vox Populi, Vox D. Vox D? Vox DEI?
Oh, no.
But yeah, I love this. He's talking to us about like financial responsibility. That's the whole conservative thing, is fiscal responsibility. And if you saw the latest valuation of Twitter, it's $33 billion. That's $11 billion just in Jack Dorsey's pocket that he just has. Jack Dorsey, by the way, this is all your fucking fault.
Yes.
You little bitch.
Where are you, Jack?
When I catch your ass, I swear to God, Jack
I'm slit your fucking throat, faggot.
All right, I wouldn't go as far as to start saying
clean comedy.
Clean comedy.
Oh man,
I know that was fully a joke.
This show's
nothing by it.
Dude, like, this is real. This is real life.
Yeah.
Like
we're
so fucking
an epic meme to own the libs.
We're so fucking numb
as
to everything.
Poor people are dying.
Yep. Well, the real problem is the elderly woman.
Memes while there's children starving in Africa, kind of thing. Like
the real
you are the guy whose job it is to stop poor people from dying.
Well, the real problem is the elderly woman that has to fucking mix cat food into her ramen to get protein because she only gets $900 a month in the fucking dark by candlelight. That's the real problem. That fucking leech.
Oh, yeah.
Elon Musk described Social Security as an entitlement to people, by the way. Was it interesting? It's like, oh, you're entitled to Social Security? Really? Motherfucker, I paid for it. You guys took my wages for 50 years? Yes. That's my money.
You think you're entitled to unemployment?
To a paycheck?
To the thing that I paid for?
You think that you can just fucking exchange money for goods and services? You moron.
Money can be exchanged for goods and services.
We got so much shit in the fucking content server here.
We have so much stuff in the frickin' content server.
Here's a funny video.
Here's a funny video.
This is
this isn't funny at all.
Here we go.
Come across like a woke asshole, but like, dude, women have it hard.
Wow.
You can physically watch how hard he is thinking. He had like that was a thought that he processed.
Just now realized this.
It's like a Windows 98 computer like booting up, like doing anything. Like, you can watch how hard it is to like physically like the fucking neurons firing in his brain to make this thought happen.
Come across like a woke asshole, but like,
was segregation bad?
Dude, women have it hard.
You don't want to come across like a woke asshole. That's so funny.
I think that
just heard about racism. That shit's fucked up.
Yeah. Dude, women have it hard.
Women have it hard. Woke asshole. Women have it hard. Look at him. Literally, that is the first thought he's had of the decade.
You know what would be a good thing?
He looks like he's about to fucking
equality.
Cry. He looks like he's gonna cry.
Woke asshole, and it's just common sense. What else do we got?
What else do we have?
What holidays are today?
We talked about that. This was something that, Trump's Burger Restaurant? What is this?
In 2020, a Trump-themed restaurant.
Oh, here's another epic prank that Trump used to do.
A Biden burger. And that's because Trump Burger is far from a normal restaurant, with guests immediately greeted by walls covered in Trump photos, MAGA flags, and even a booth to buy his merch. But the craziest part was the menu, because when guests stepped up to order their food, they could choose from options like the Trump Tower Burger and First Lady Sandwich. But there is also the Biden Burger,
First Lady Sandwich
that came with large servings at a reasonable price. The Biden Burger came with 1 ounce of beef, an expired tomato, and their oldest buns and stock, all for the massive price of $51. Would you visit? In 2020, a Trump
awesome. I get
this is you owned him.
Wait, was the actual burger $51 too? I like that he's like trying to criticize Biden by saying that, inflation's out of pocket, bro, and he's selling burgers for $51. I mean, we saw him selling fucking hats for $50 there, so
yeah.
This is another example of like, who are you owning here? You're like, yeah, I just bought a tiny burger for $51 and it like gave me a flesh-eating parasite. That sure showed Biden.
Got him.
That sure showed Joe Biden, who's like on a beach somewhere sipping a martini while his last brain cell is chilling before it takes its final breath.
It's on the retirement tour. Yeah. Oh, this was something. I was talking about this earlier because it pissed me off.
It made you lose it, one might say.
Yeah, made me lose.
No,
it.
piss is okay. Piss, that's clean. That's clean.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was in The Secret Life of Pets too. It's fine.
That was also in the regular show.
It. I was talking about Elon Musk.
Oh, I remember this the other night.
How he has no perspective on what it's like to be an American. Here's this Muppet, Rita Panihi or Pinahi, Rita Panini, right? Who apparently she's like so this is this is Australian, by the way, skynews.com.au. You know, you couldn't get the clean branding of .com or anything. They had to put the little AU thing. And it's literally like, it is like they just took like the script from Fox News and just gave everyone like an Australian accent. Nowhere in this at all does she talk about anything that pertains to anyone in the country of Australia. I love how, like, this is insane, by the way, to be an Australian obsessed with American politics like this, period, is insane. But, like, this is something that, like, this is her career. Her career is entirely subsidized off of off of what's going on in the United States. And, like, I would wager to guess that she's never even been to the United States. And she wants to tell the people of Australia that, yeah, Trump is doing great over there. Let's check in on Trump, guys. You don't even live here. It's so...
Of course, that's what the average Australian citizen is thinking about.
Clearly.
American leftists.
Well, clearly that's the case. There's, like, she's so... The people that watch this show are so fucking deluded that they're more concerned about what's happening in literally the furthest country located from them. Literally, there is not a country further from Australia than the United States. Let's take a listen. It's really obnoxious.
For lefties losing it, Rosie O'Donnell.
We'll just flash the graphic.
O'Donnell.
I like that they got...
Rosie O'Donnell.
Look at this graphic here. Like, basic font, whatever graphics pack, like, you know, scene transition thing.
Lefties losing it for 300.
It literally looks like that's the Switch
Lefties
Jeopardy.
Losing it.
Yeah. Well, like, they flash it on screen for, like, half a second, too. Like, incompetence over there. I love, like,
losing it.
They didn't even, like, no pizzazz here at all with the design. Just basic sans serif font.
It's time
also,
for
like,
lefties losing it.
The word
Rosie
lefties is a very specifically American, like, turn of phrase.
Yeah. Well, it's backwards in a lot of countries. The colors are backwards, or like the left, right, etc. It's backwards in a lot of countries. I don't know if that's the case in Australia. I guess it wouldn't be because they're calling them lefties.
Yeah.
O'Donnell.
Here we go. And by the way, this is a recent show. This is from when?
Yeah.
5 days ago. She's talking about Rosie O'Donnell. Let's check out Rosie O'Donnell.
Going to talk about Rosie again.
Talkie.
She continues to make a fool of herself in
Let's hear it.
TV interviews. It appears
Whoever's running the fucking chyrons there is just like, oh, we got to add Rosie O'Donnell there.
Rosie O'Donnell. We're going to talk about Rosie again. She continues to make a fool of herself in TV interviews. It appears since fleeing America due to an incurable case of TDS.
The fucking nerve.
You are currently in Australia.
You don't...
Communicating exclusively with Australia.
Yeah. What are you talking about,
You are not
TDS?
one of us, bitch.
TDS. She's trying to be fucking Tucker Carlson here.
If anyone in Australia has Trump derangement syndrome, I think that should actually be a diagnosis. In America, it isn't.
Yeah.
In America, that's just, like, normal.
Yeah.
But, like, if you're in fucking Australia and you think about Donald Trump all the time.
I love, it's just, point blank, any point that she's about to say here doesn't even matter because you're Australian. You're an Australian. It doesn't matter.
Your opinion doesn't matter.
L plus ratio plus you're Australian.
But let's hear it.
Unless you're Harry Gold, we love you.
What's the craziness? Well, here's the thing. Harry Gold's not fucking... He doesn't have TDS.
Yeah, he don't give a shit about fucking Rosie O'Donnell.
Her full-time job is doing these daft interviews where she says stuff like
oh,
this.
imagine that.
I knew after reading Project 2025.
Look at Rosie O'Donnell. She's losing it.
It was time for me and my non-binary child to leave the country. And although I was not one of the celebrities who announced that that's what I would do, I made the decision within my family and my therapist, and should he win, and then when he did, we made the plan into action, and we were gone before he was inaugurated.
So she didn't establish that
this Australian news anchor
is
so angry that someone left the United States.
Yeah, she doesn't establish that very clearly. You think she's setting up, but she didn't really move, did she? But she did move. She moved to Ireland from the United States, but she didn't establish that at all. She didn't say that, she moved to Ireland. She just is going to talk about it like you already know it. Because, of course, you're equally as obsessed with American politics as an Australian.
Rosie O'Donnell.
Yeah, the biggest political topic here, Rosie O'Donnell.
Yeah, like, this is crazily, like, irrelevant to even, like, this is not something we would talk about as Americans. Go ahead.
Can I ask? I think I must have known, like, towards the beginning of the Trump saga, but I really don't anymore. What does Rosie O'Donnell do?
She's an actress. She's a comedian.
She was in Tarzan.
What does she do?
She's an American talk show host and comedian.
Why should we care?
Because she moved from the United States to Ireland to protect her non-binary child because she was afraid of persecution. Things like, I don't know, let's say, for example, what if the government says, ICE has the ability to declare warrantless searches on people's homes looking for illegal immigrants? Totally. That's something that's real, by the way. I can't even, act like that. What if that happens and someone misinterprets that? That's literally real. That, they're saying they have the right to ignore your Fourth Amendment rights.
Making, ID laws and, passport laws that intermingle in a way that make it so that people whose gender isn't on their birth certificate and in real life don't match, or, there's some other middle ground, they're not allowed to do anything.
She fled with her non-binary child to a country that is...
She talks like she's, lobotomized here. Child? She left with her non-binary child?
It sounds like an Australian...
Polly, that's not nice. She is lobotomized.
It sounds like an Australian trying to put on a southern accent.
I love that, yeah. Well, British, I mean, I always thought that Australian accents were just British accents with, a southern twang to it. Because all of Australia is just a prison continent. That's, what it was founded upon. They're just the people that England didn't want. They're the descendants of fucking rejects.
More socially conservative than much of America, certainly more
than much of America. Notice how not all of America.
Oh, yeah.
More than the blue city she fled. Rosie is not that bright, it seems. Perhaps she missed the fact that Ireland's abortion laws are pretty strict, only freely available in the first trimester.
Okay. So many things wrong with that.
Unrelated to the thing that...
Well, did you know that abortion laws are more restrictive than some states in the United States? First of all, I don't think Rosie O'Donnell is that concerned about abortion. I don't know if you're suggesting she wants to abort her born child that already exists, that she has born already. I don't know if you're suggesting that, but also you indicated Ireland, you can't get an abortion past, it's only freely available past the first trimester, and it's before the first trimester, which is 12 weeks, by the way. That is still less restrictive. We literally looked at this earlier than many states in the United States. And also, the only thing that that's stopping it from being illegal countrywide is just a law being passed. Now that it's not protected by the Supreme Court, they could codify abortion being illegal and overwrite any of the states that have it freely available. But also, this is the most completely irrelevant, this is the best you could do for, finding...
Rosie O'Donnell.
Yeah. Well, this is the best you could do for finding how Ireland is more conservative than many parts of the United States, notably not all parts of the United States, certainly not more conservative than the president of the United States, is that they have perceivably to you, I know you don't live in America, so you don't know, perceivably to you, more restrictive abortion rights than some states in the United States, even though, you know, it's still better than, like, in Ireland, you can get an abortion anywhere in Ireland. If you live in the wrong state in the United States, you cannot get an abortion when you so desire. That is hilarious. Like, that is actually, like, moronic. That is the, like, that's the example she chose to show that. Are you confused with the Irish Republicans? Are you saying? Yeah. Are you confusing the Irish Republicans as being conservative? Is that what this is?
Losing it.
Yeah. You don't know what the Irish Republicans
these are the real people with, like, this is what actual Trump derangement syndrome is.
Yeah, this is like, she's a leech. She's just grafting herself onto the, like, American politics. It's so fucking absurd. She's not that bright, it seems. Shut the fuck up, bitch. You've never been here.
That fewer
Why
than
do you
1
care?
in 5, 17% in fact, of
Look at this graphic. Look at that. Look at the countess. You see how, like, pixelated that is? Right there? Because they have no brain in their head. Pull up the picture of the stock Irish people that go along with the graphic.
Yeah, very conservative-looking picture, right?
Yeah. Irish public have their say in first Irish gender poll. Okay, what is what is this graphic? This has nothing to do with anything. It doesn't say the results of that poll or anything.
Have their say.
The countess.
Irish folk agree with laws allowing a person to change their birth certificate when they self-identify as the opposite sex.
So?
But Rosie doesn't care about those sorts of facts. She's obsessed with Project 25.
Project 25. I bet
the
you
25th project.
I bet you believe Project 2025 is real. Even though they're literally instituting it. They're literally, like, you know, deporting people without habeas corpus. They're saying, oh, we can break into your house and look for illegal immigrants. Nazi shit. Project 2025, though, that's just a fairy tale.
Heartbreaking, I have to tell you. I knew that if I was in the United States...
But, you know, she's not privy to facts like that.
Yeah.
Look at Wolf Blitzer there. Wolf Blitzer, easily the least favorite fucking host on CNN. I fucking hate Wolf Blitzer. I don't know who that woman is on the fucking ThinkPad. That looks like a school library computer she's using.
For the reason of fairness, I do want to say, why didn't you just go to Canada?
I would not want to be right next to fucking America.
She probably has connections over to Ireland. That's why she chose that specifically. She probably
if you're Irish, you are given birthright citizenship, basically.
Yeah, if you yeah, I mean Rosie O'Donnell. You think she's Irish? Wonder.
I've heard of theories.
Have to say. Did you see Wolf Blitzer on Jeopardy? By the way.
I think you've told us about this previously.
By the end of the show, he was like negative $150,000 or some shit. Like,
yeah,
whatever charity he was playing for, all the children immediately died.
Yeah, they fucking just went and chopped their damn heads off.
Why, Wolf Blitzer? Why?
States.
He's donated to Make-A-Wish.
Watched him destroy the country and the Constitution, and really pay no mind to any of the laws that the founders
look at this raving lunatic, losing it all over the place.
Yeah, losing it. She's insane. She's insane. Nothing insane about a person that lives in Australia.
Is this person gonna tell me to my face that they give a shit about the Constitution?
Yeah, I love that. Let's hear it. I want to hear her fucking talk about the Constitution like she knows. Let me look this woman up. Has she ever even been here? Rita Benita, what's her name?
Beniti Mussolini?
And the Blue Meanie?
Panini.
Cowboy Curtis and John B. the Genie. Robocop Terminator.
Of Iranian descent, born 1976. Lefties Losing It, The Friday Show on Sky News Australia. Citizenship Australian. Early life and education. Oh, look at that. She was born in the United States.
Oh, well, there you go.
And then they moved to Iran when she was 3.
Okay.
And then in 1984, so for the first 3 years, so for the first 3 years of her life, in the late 70s, she lived in the United States. And then they moved to Iran, and then they moved to Australia by the time she was 1984, time she was 8.
So it runs deep.
So she's never had any adult experience in the United States. She's never had any meaningful
experience inside of the United States.
Yeah, and when it was in Arkansas. So
miss the fact that Ireland's abortion laws are pretty strict, only freely available in the first trimester.
Did I rewind this? Yes,
she's
I did.
obsessed with Project 25.
Our country stands
Project 25. She calls it Project 25. Like, that's not even what it's called. There goes
probably like 25 of them.
Journalistic fidelity right there.
Or as a beacon of shining
How
light.
insane is this to watch to you guys? Like, I feel like we're not really emphasizing how insane it is.
I mean, that's the only thing that we've mentioned so far is that, like, you don't even go here.
Yeah, you don't live here. You haven't lived here for
decades. You are not one of us, bro.
And freedom for the rest of the world, that should he do what the Heritage Foundation said he was going to do in that Project 2025, that we were going to be in big trouble. And it's as bad as they promised and even a little bit worse. And it's been heartbreaking and personally very, very sad to watch.
Okay.
I tell you, not everyone is happy with Rosie moving to Ireland. Let's hear from this local woman.
Just played the clip. Just played the clip. Did not have any commentary on it. Borderline copyright infringement, I might argue. She's obsessed with Project 2025.
When she says local person here.
I love the idea. Well, first of all, I have to say that she doesn't have to explain what Project 25 is. Just her introducing that she's anxious about Project 2025 is already in itself supposed to be a ridiculous thing to the Australian viewers.
Rosie O'Donnell has just moved to Ireland. How do you feel about her?
Local clip. Where is the
local clip?
Her coming to Ireland.
I'm pretty disgusted, to be honest. I'm fully aware of the housing.
Oh, so this is people in Ireland.
Situation here, and for someone to come to our country to hide from the President of the United States, they're very not welcome here. It's absolutely disgusting.
Now to the...
Okay.
Oh my God, one person?
They found the one person in Ireland.
They downloaded a TikTok to play as their source here. Not everyone's pleased with it. Here's a woman in a fucking tapestry in Ireland.
Not everyone.
Yeah. And?
President of the United States, they're very not welcome here. It's absolutely disgusting.
It's absolutely disgusting. Why? And also, they cut something. They clearly cut something.
About her coming to Ireland.
I'm pretty disgusted, to be honest. I'm fully aware of the housing situation here, and for someone to come to our country to hide from the President of the United States,
Carolina,
they're very not welcome here. It's absolutely disgusting.
Now to the University of North Carolina, where Republican Nancy Mace was being heckled by some dude in a dress demanding an apology. Listen here how his voice changes about halfway through this exchange.
Does your husband call you?
Excuse me?
Oh, so she's misgendering this person.
Oh, okay.
She's just being needlessly cruel because she can do this with without any, because she's thousands of miles away on a country that's completely irrelevant to the rest of the world. You know how the United States influences
North Carolina.
How influences world politics and like things that happen here change the world. Us fucking with the tariffs and stuff has global consequences. Nothing you do or say has ever mattered or will ever matter. Rosa Panihi.
Okay, so even better. I don't care. Okay, so I would like for you to apologize, but it is derogatory and...
Okay, who's the person commenting prerogatory? Prerogatory. Also, they're crediting Nancy Mace here, even though this is clearly a TikTok. So, they're not even crediting the original person.
Second of all.
Is tranny derogatory to you?
Well, yeah. Of course the
tranny. Yeah, tranny.
Owned.
Now that is the rational, reasonable person. The
Oh,
other
yeah.
person is losing it.
Yeah, that's them losing it. Someone calling the other person a slur. They lost it.
Repeatedly?
Yeah.
Oh, that was a dramatic change, wasn't it? And why did he pick up that pot plant? Was he going to water it or hurl it at someone?
Shut the fuck up.
Clever commentary. So this is also, there's not even any commentary on these clips at all, I should say.
No.
It's like, check this out. Oh, why'd they grab the pot? Why'd he grab the pot plant?
This is Australian
pot plant.
conservative Tosh.0.
Yeah. I love that. This is the most like consequential things in the world to this woman, by the way, is a TikTok of a trans person in North Carolina saying, "Hey, that was pretty derogatory." They meant derogatory, but whatever. And Rosie O'Donnell.
Now let's check in with our friends at CNN who are now
and another person, friends at CNN who have never heard of us.
now reporting on Joe Biden's cognitive decline. It's a little bit late now. Let's have a look
Really?
at what...
They haven't been reporting on it for the last year? They've just been like, oh, yeah, this Joe Biden guy has been great. I mean, admittedly, they were totally... The mainstream media about Joe Biden was trying to make us believe, oh, he's fine. Everything's okay. It's just all exaggerated. And then he did that horrendous debate, and people had to admit that the emperor was not wearing any clothes. I'll admit that. But also, it's completely dishonest to say like they have not been reporting on this when it has been the thing they've reported for the past 10 months.
What they were claiming last year in the lead up to that debate with Donald Trump.
President Biden has spent days locked in intense preparation.
So this is downloaded from something too.
Yeah, this is just Tosh.0.
Yeah, this is someone else has done the research to find these two clips and show the dissonance between
Sky News just goes through their Instagram reels and fucking picks out all of the
they just scroll they just scroll Twitter. That's hilarious. This is lefties losing it. They got Caitlin Collins here. I think they even changed like the saturation on like the video or something because they couldn't even go and find the original clips.
Surrounded by his closest advisors at Camp David. And our sources are telling us tonight that full mock debates are underway.
Why does bitch look fucking AI generated?
He's even watching tape to know
I fucking love Caitlin Collins. Don't you fucking dare. Don't
I'm not
you
being mean, but okay, no.
Dare.
Okay. Paulie, look at like the way the footage is kind of blurry. It kind of looks like
well,
AI.
yeah, it's because they just stole this from like X.com. Like they.
I know, but
this is their television. This is what she thinks a show is.
This is what all of Australian television is like. They have nothing else.
Well, it's because it's funded by the government, right? She actually lives off of government subsidies here. Like, the government pays for the Rita Panihi show. Which is hilarious, right? Because that's how Australian media works, is that they pay... And all she does is just obsess over, politics in America. Hilarious. Man. Pathetic. Actually pathetic.
Exactly what he's going to see when he steps up to that lecture. His team shot a video during a walkthrough of the CNN studio. And as I reported while covering him at the White House, when Biden prepares, he does so incredibly intensively.
Oh, really, Caitlin? Incredibly
that
intensively?
Could be true, even though he sucked.
Does that include poolside naps because he's got no idea what's happening? Let's hear what CNN is saying now.
Clever and
original.
original.
It doesn't really matter. And thanks to Maze Moore for this bit of gold.
Like, I feel like Biden could have trained and still did bad at the debate. I don't see how that's wrong.
Thanks to Maze Moore for doing the fucking thing I, as a journalist, should be doing.
Yeah.
For Biden aides before the former president's disastrous debate last summer. According to Ron Klain, his chief of staff, his
also
concern...
they've definitely reported on it sooner than April 2025. But of course she didn't like know that because she doesn't get CNN in Australia. They don't broadcast it there because she's an Australian. She's never meaningfully lived in the United States. She has the fact is she's sitting here thinking she can speak on with any authority on American politics at all. She's just playing clips from Twitter. But
could not be overstated. At his first meeting with Biden for debate prep, quote, Klain was startled.
Views on American politics are fueled entirely off the things they see on X.com, but
This is literally
this is the perfect example of that.
Yeah.
Its most distilled form.
It's just how are you real? SRV, your thoughts?
I do like also. Well, first of all, yeah, you're not from America. Well, you were, but you're not here. So just knock it off.
You were when you were 2.
Yeah. But also, I want to point out for this clip specifically, these are 2 different people you're comparing. They don't have to have the same view.
These are 2 different shows on CNN. These are 2 different people that host 2 different shows. Caitlin Collins and I don't know who the lady on the bottom is, but clearly it's a different show because you can see in the bottom it's Caitlin Collins, the source, and
he'd never.
I can't see what the show is for the bottom right on the bottom, but it's clearly a different show because believe it or not, she looks a little different from Caitlin Collins. Different show, different timbre, different opinions, right? Like, wow. You act like CNN is this all-encompassing thing and it isn't a network of different shows that people host? What a concept.
Yeah, like how every show on Fox all agrees with each other.
Seen Biden.
I mean, Sky News might be a hive mind.
I don't know.
So out of it. Biden was unaware of what was happening in his own campaign.
Our friends at CNN, like the nerve to introduce that clip.
Friends at CNN.
That clip, like she has any relevance in the world at all.
Part of the team.
Like she thinks what she's saying matters. A few 100,000 people are watching this show in Australia, and it's just 80-year-old people that are so fucking disabled they can't reach for the TV and change the channel.
No, my friend CNN is really cool, but they go to a different country, so I don't think you're gonna be able to.
Yeah, it's like the only reason why this show even gets any viewership at all is because the power company hasn't disconnected the power to the fucking people that have died watching this because they're so fucking old. When that happens, dude, you're fucked.
Halfway through the session, the president excused himself.
Weather update. My area is now tornado warning, and the sky is yellow.
Oh, the swears. The swears are getting to you.
And went off to sit by the
We're
pool.
very sorry.
Are you fucking Breaking Bad right now?
This is in the middle of debate prep. Went off to the pool, and
this is not a tornado, and it explodes.
From Pocahontas, Elizabeth Warren, who...
You have the nerve to call her Pocahontas, bro? By the way, that was a thing from, like,
you
11
ain't even
years...
fucking got Pocahontas.
That was 11 years ago.
The only fucking cultural significance Pocahontas has to anyone in a 500-mile radius to you is the Disney movie.
You know, an American movie.
Yes.
Claimed that Biden was as sharp as a tack. Now she thinks her lies about the president are some big joke.
Do you regret saying that President Biden had a mental acuity? He had a sharpness to him.
Not that it'll matter because she lives in a different country where, she's not going to sue internationally.
You said that up until July of last year.
I said what I believe to be true.
And you think he was as sharp as you?
I said I had not seen.
Did she snicker? Did she?
Yeah, she just chuckled to herself.
Said what I believe to be true.
And you think he was as sharp as you?
That's a good clip. That's a good clip. Thank you for the content, Talk Easy with Sam Fragoso. I'm glad that you put the effort in to book Elizabeth Warren and record this conversation with her. Ask the questions directly because there's no way Elizabeth Warren is gonna pick up the phone for fucking skynews.com.au. But
why is Sky News calling me?
Who?
I had not seen decline.
Our show, unironically,
they care about me in the sky.
Yeah.
Well, no.
All the way up there.
Sky News did try and reach out to Elizabeth Warren, but fortunately she didn't pick up because it was written as potential spam.
It was, yeah. Our
scam
show,
likely,
unironically, has more relevance to the United States politics. If I would love for her to pick up this show.
Is over there.
Yeah. I would love for her to pick up this show and just steal clips from it and then have a 2-sentence long little snarky comment. Huh. Talking like that when you look like you're gay?
Why is that one green?
Why is that man green there?
Why is that one gay?
Why is that one blue? Why are they all different colors?
Can you believe that? That interviewer, Sam Fragoso, did a fantastic job.
Yeah, great effort from that guy. You did nothing, Rita. You did literally, like, you are a total.
Every time you say
farce.
Rita, I think you're gonna call her retard.
Retard Panini.
That's
Panini.
not very clean.
Panini, why you gotta be a meanie?
I was thinking every time I hear someone say Panini, I do think about that song. I'm gonna be real.
Not your boyfriend, bro. Anyways, I just like she is a total like synthetic journalist, right? Like she thinks she's a journalist. She thinks that she's reporting the news, and she's done nothing. Not that like we've gone, to the streets and asked the questions ourselves or anything.
No, I have. There was that one episode where I was like, don't get the fucking, what was it?
Yeah.
The spicy Sprite from Burger King.
But like one of these shows is an internet podcast that is specifically just comedic. And the other one is meant to be the
Sky News.
The news. The Sky News.
All the information that
this is not a news program. This is not a news program that we're hosting. It says in the corner, news.
Did they just like?
And if you do get your news from us, I'd recommend finding another news source.
They just
finding a news.
Drop the 2016 Ghostbusters version of fucking Gutfield into the wrong folder.
I don't know.
These people really are beneath contempt. Listen to
Banini.
Beneath contempt. Let's see it.
Pocahontas here.
These people are beneath contempt. Elizabeth Warren.
Court?
And Rosie O'Donnell.
Is that like a credible call to action?
These people are beneath contempt. Let's hear why, because that's a horrible thing to say about another human. I would say that about someone who say, I don't know, maybe theoretically facilitated people being wrongfully deported to a concentration camp. I would maybe say that about people like that, people that are have any power. Not Elizabeth Warren in her fucking red cardigan. It's actually pink.
I'm sure this next thing will be equally messed up, if not more.
Yes.
Beneath contempt. That's serious. That's biting.
Look,
Elizabeth Warren is not a person.
Sharp. He was on his feet. I saw him. Live event. I had meetings with him a couple of times.
Senator. I mean, if you remember his debate in 2020, he fucking schooled Biden, If you guys remember it, he totally grappled him in that first debate.
You mean schooled Trump?
Schooled Trump, sorry. God.
You're losing it, like a lefty.
In 2020. And then in 2024, you can see the decline. I think the first 2 years of Biden were way more effective than any other president in the 20th century in their entire term, if you just look at the amount of things that he did. He lowered the cost of insulin to $35 a vial. That's huge. That's a huge thing. That's affected so many people.
On his feet is not praise. He can speak in sentences is not praise.
All right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Now,
because she admits it, so she can admit her faults.
Beneath
That's a good
contempt.
He complimented a guy and then said, "Actually, maybe I did the wrong thing."
Beneath contempt.
Oh, Bill, we're going to Bill Maher next.
Maher attempts to appease anti-Trumpers.
The biggest issue facing Australians at the moment.
Bill
Maher.
You are a lazy fucking bastard, Rita Panihi. You can't make actual content. You gotta.
Your show should be canceled.
Your show, you might as well just be airing Fox News instead of getting the fucking government grants on making the Rita Panihi show. Just air Fox News over there. It's the same shit. It's literally the same fucking issues that your viewers are concerned about. I'll be right back.
Damn, all right.
Now, at the end of the show, Bronze, I hate to say it, but I'm going to tally up every swear that we did in this episode, and that's the amount of tornadoes that will come through your house.
Oh shit!
That's a shame. I think the storm is close to being weathered at this point, so we're still in tornado warning, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, by the end of the show, that might change.
Yeah, there's 20 tornadoes are gonna spontaneously appear above my house. I'm very sorry, audience, if I swore at any point during the show. I don't mean it.
Yeah, we're clean comedy.
Yeah. In fact, I don't
We
get
opened for
anything
Jerry
today.
Seinfeld.
I am secretly, I am Vivek Ramaswamy in disguise. I'm an Elon plant.
I knew it. I guess really we all are because we loved his SNL performance.
Oh yeah.
Hell no!
That was really the peak of his career when he put on the Wario costume and then forgot what words were.
See, that would almost... They would have made up for everything if every day when he's with Trump, he's in the Wario costume.
Yeah. That's what he should have done, really.
People would be like, I'm not sure why Doge exists and he's just gutting everything, but Wario.
Wario.
Look at him dance. He's dancing to...
Although realistically, that would be more of like a, God, he's still fucking doing the Wario bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it would get old, then it would wrap back around to being funny again after like years.
I feel like if he did it for years, I would be more concerned. I would be concerned about his cognitive decline.
You just feel sad. Oh, yeah. Hi, Wario. He makes you call him Wario.
This is what you are now.
The funny thing about that is, I think, because during the skit, they're like, time to play Wario's famous theme song. I think they just picked the first YouTube result for Wario theme song that they found.
Just some fucking Siva gunner.
Play fucking Flintstones theme. Wario pause screen 50 minutes.
When they were doing the research for this, they were tricked by several Siva gunner things. Like, maybe this one.
For sure.
That actually would have saved the skit. Some Siva gunner music. Then Siva Gunner could have went to court with SNL.
That would have been great. We get Ray William Johnson involved.
That's also what this show is. It's Australian equals 3.
Oh yeah. I mean, she hasn't said the N-word while swinging a lightsaber yet, but this seems like something.
Yeah, so it's not as good.
Eventually.
We can't count that out from not happening, right? It could happen.
Yeah. Bit of a weather update, bit of a Blonde Show weather update outside my window. The void is encroaching.
Oh. Is that normal?
I think so. The Yeti is receding and it is being
Alright. By the way, fucking local Australian correspondent Harry Gold reported that apparently you can watch Fox News, CNN, MSNBC in Australia. You are pathetic.
What's the point of this?
What is the point of this? It's like, what do you think you're doing as an Australian watching this? Instead of just watching, the genuine article.
Like, surely, whatever
you're just this is just
Australian
watching
conservatives are also entertaining.
You're just watching,
like Australian lefties.
You're just watching Fox News sublimated through like an Australian filter, where it's just an Australian woman will pop on screen and have a witty one-liner that someone else wrote for her. Because I guarantee you, like, literally when the camera shuts off, she just goes home. She just gets in her fucking Mercedes and drives home.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like the Coconut Fred to SpongeBob.
Luminary Bill Maher is doing his best.
Not that Fox News is anything like SpongeBob, dear God.
Mob who are outraged at this ardent Trump hater.
Marlboro outrage? Marlboro outrage? Cigarettes? What was that?
Dinner at
How can you get at this job if you can't even enunciate?
The White House, lefty luminary Bill Maher is doing his best to redeem himself with the loony mob who are outraged at this ardent.
She's trying to say mob who are outraged, but she can't speak because she's mentally
Australian.
Rita Panini. She's mentally Rita Panini.
Trump hater would break bread with the president and then give an honest appraisal of what happened during that dinner. But as Maher said, he was not going to stop criticising the president or the VP, it seems.
What a bastard! Fuck that guy!
Losing it.
Who would ever want to criticize the president?
So let me guess. He said I had a dinner with president and it was very nice and pleasant and might have changed my perspective on some things, but I'm still going to continue criticizing him. And that's him shallowly trying to appease anti-Trumpers.
That's him losing it.
That sounds like him just being kind of. I don't even know how you can extrapolate an opinion out of that.
That's him being normal.
We have a constitutional crisis. Today,
Yes.
Melania had a jacket that said, "I'm starting to care." And not just Trump. J.D. Vance, our vice president, he's in Rome. You know, he's a convert, a recent convert to Catholicism. I know he's married to a Hindu, goes right to the Catholics. I don't know what that says.
He's trying to be the new pope.
He converted to Catholicism because he heard priests like little pricks. So.
I'm not sure that's going to be enough to stop the hit piece.
What did that have to... What?
What?
I was waiting for the point.
Yeah.
Was that the wrong clip? Was that... What was that?
Losing it.
Well, I guess the Larry David thing is related to it.
This is him losing it, and it's him on, like, a real network, doing a real show, like, with original content. Him losing it. Nothing about you is genuine or real, Rita Panini. You are going to die in 27 years, and you will be completely irrelevant. Your Wikipedia page is going to be 3 paragraphs. Here's the thing. All of us here in this fucking call have made content that is going to, like, permeate and be relevant literally forever. You will not. You just fucking copy. Yeah. You copy, and if we don't, you definitely
She has a tiny Wiki. Her Wikipedia page doesn't even have a photo of her on it.
It doesn't even have. Oh no! Oh, so she's less relevant than Scott Henson. Interesting. Well, maybe if she dies, she'd be a bit more relevant. Maybe. I don't know. I don't even think that if she died, she would like even appear on my Twitter
No, because
feed.
then less people would. Because there'd be like the people who'd be like, "Oh, it's not funny to make fun of her. She's dead."
No,
She'd
they
be
wouldn't
less
know
relevant.
who she is. They don't know who she is. Here's the thing. If fucking Caitlin Collins...
You're the first Americans to ever know her name.
If Caitlin Collins died, right, that would be like 3 episodes of the Rita Panini show. It would be like, you know, oh my God, you know, really, really ironic, right? Especially if she died of like COVID or something. It was like, oh, she was praising the vaccine and then she died.
Whenever Anderson Cooper dies,
yeah,
it's gonna be a big deal for some reason.
It's gonna be a big deal on the Rita Panini show. She's gonna like, you know, make some jokes about R.I.P. to Anthony Cooperson, and then she's gonna play some like clips of him embarrassing himself or something perceivably. That is not going to happen when Rita Panini dies. She's going to, like, her show's just going to end. Maybe there will be some shakeups in Australia. Maybe. And she'll just get replaced by some fucking other Muslim woman.
If we have any Australian viewers, is Rita Panini like a renowned, beloved figure in Australia?
I mean, Harry knew who she was. That's because he lives there. Good.
The one old guy who has like her channel on just like to jerk off to her face will be sad.
Trumpster Bob.
Yeah. Well, no, there's no way. Is the thing is I'm speaking this way because like what happens in the United States?
What the fuck is happening?
The planes are coming.
Yeah. What happens in the United States like actually matters. That's why she's talking about exclusively the United States. So it's like it's funny seeing her try to matter or be relevant at all.
But heard priests like
to stop the hit pieces and the mockery from the likes of Larry David, who lampooned Ma with this piece in the New York Times.
I fucking love Larry
David.
This
piece in the New York Times, and it's just the headline. That's all you need.
The headline.
That's all he wrote.
Result for icon-sized Larry David.
Yeah. Didn't even get the right size fucking SVG graphic.
Entitled "My Dinner with Adolf."
Adolf.
In it, David.
Because it's pronounced Adolf, right? But because she's an Australian retard, she doesn't know how to like retard. She doesn't know how to say words.
Wrote, "Here I was, prepared to meet Hitler, the one I'd seen and heard, the public Hitler, but this private Hitler was a completely different animal."
Because Trump has never echoed Hitler several times in several different ways. Do you guys remember in 2024 when he had a political advertisement in which he, in the, like the background, he had like a newspaper that said like, Trump wants to institute a new Reich or something. It was something with like the Reich of Trump.
Yeah.
REICH, like literally like Hitler's language.
Joining me now is Newsweek.
Oh my God, are we gonna get some real journalism? We're gonna get some original content?
Senior editor at large
It just cuts to a dude like coughing.
Project Senior Counsel Josh Hammer.
Wait, how many degrees removed is this person? Let's hear that again.
Hitler was a completely different
imagine if she said, joining us now, here's Larry David.
Animal.
Do you think they even bother contacting Larry David, or do they know that their show's fucking rinky-dink? No.
Joining me now is Newsweek Senior Editor at Large and Article 3 Project Senior Counsel Josh.
Newsweek. So we got an editor for Newsweek. You know, the tabloid website.
Hammer. Josh, how disappointing to see this unfunny mess from a comedy great like Larry David.
Comedy great. Unfunny mess like a comedy great like Larry David.
Well, unlike my show, which is a funny mess.
Rita, it's not even remotely surprising. Larry David has one of the most...
Oh, look at this. We're talking to an American, by the way.
Notorious
Newsweek senior editor at large.
Cases of Trump derangement syndrome.
Israel and civilization.
Here in the United
I like that he has 500 copies of it. Like, he just uses it as toilet paper at this point. It's more affordable.
States. You know, it's worth noting that since October 7th, and the...
What?
Where'd this come from?
Is it because Larry David's Jewish? Is that the relevance? It's like he only can talk about one subject, so he just always has to like bring it back to... It's like as if his interviews are sponsored by Israel. So they have to like, it's like a YouTuber advertising BetterHelp, but he just has to.
Brought to you by Carl's Jr.
Yeah, he has to awkwardly insert it, like bring the conversation back to Israel. At every.
Well, he did write Israel and civilization. It appears.
You know, the two separate concepts.
You think he's gonna plug his book?
He already is. He's showing it on television here. That's him plugging it.
Yeah. The horrific tragedy in Israel there. So Jerry Seinfeld and Larry David co-created Seinfeld, the sitcom here.
Seinfeld.
Back in the 1990s there. Jerry Seinfeld, to his credit, has actually been very outspoken against the raging pro-Hamas mobs. Larry David has not said a single word. And
it's completely relevant to what? Has to do with it. Has to do with what? Well, Larry David hasn't criticized, hasn't supported bombing kids. Where's he?
The worst thing he could do is not say anything.
This is a man who it's actually much more than just that one issue for him. You know, I heard once upon a time a story from Alan Dershowitz, of all people, another man who has heterodox political views. But apparently Larry David saw Alan Dershowitz at
he just learned that word.
Supermarket or a local convenience store in Martha's Vineyard, where I guess they both have a house, and Larry David just started yelling at the top of his lungs at Alan Dershowitz for having the temerity to represent Donald Trump in his impeachment proceedings back in 2020 there. I mean, Larry David...
Temerity. The temerity, guys.
Yeah, this is not a fun thing for me to say. I actually love Curb Your Enthusiasm. I think Larry David genuinely is a funny person when he wants to be a funny person, but as is too often...
But I disagree with his politics. What a coincidence that all funny people have good politics and all unfunny people, like Jerry Seinfeld, have terrible politics. That's such a major coincidence. I wonder if that has to do...
1738!
I wonder if that has to do with anything.
1738.
There was an episode of Curb where Larry David wears a MAGA hat to make people repulsed by him because he doesn't want to talk to people.
That's pretty.
Did he just like miss that episode?
That's pretty good, actually.
In the case,
yeah.
Larry David, whether it's Robert De Niro, whether it's any of these other celebrities who are very good when they stay in their lane, but they have a very
when they stay in their lane. But when I disagree with them, boy howdy.
Their place.
When they know their place. When they disagree with them, like, I love the idea that both these people think anything they're saying matters. That they aren't speaking into the void. That they're making purely...
I am going to forget, especially the man on the right. I'm going to forget both of these people exist.
Well, the man on the right has more authority to talk because he's fucking lives in America. He knows the American experience. This woman's never lived a fucking day of American life in her entire life.
Outside their lane. Frankly, Rita, between me and you, I happen to be a huge proponent.
This guy on the right has never heard of Rita Panini.
Of the old Laura Ingraham line, which was said in a very different context about LeBron James of shut up and dribble. So in this particular case, to Larry David, I would say, shut up and just tell some funny jokes.
Clever.
But good on Jerry Seinfeld for, speaking against Hamas.
Yeah, of course, when it's something I disagree with, it's shut up and dribble. But when it's
something I agree with, like when Jerry Seinfeld has the balls to stand up to Hamas, that's based. But when Larry David has the balls to stand up to the IDF, fuck you, pussy. Or even just not say anything, I guess, is the criticism. But also that he's speaking about people that have literally criticized IDF. Sorry, I was texting Harry Gold, and he said the same exact joke you did, that it's Tosh.0 news.
Yeah.
He's almost become a caricature of his character.
Caricature? She said caricature.
He's almost become a caricature of...
Caricature. you know how that's it's an acting term for what a actor has a hard time.
Character chores, man.
Yeah, well, that's the tasks that they have to do in character on set. That's like their direction. They have character chores.
Yeah,
they have to character chore. She's so. Who does she think she is, bro?
He's character on Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Character.
That's the point. That's the point of Curb Your Enthusiasm.
He's a caricature. Caricature. What a blithering fucking loon. Wow.
Yeah, no. Larry David's never played a character on Curb Your Enthusiasm. That one sketch where he says he fucked a 9-year-old girl. No, that was real.
That wasn't a caricature?
That wasn't a caricature.
That's gonna be.
You know, fucking scene. That's a good sketch.
Dude, she said caricature, right?
His character on could become a caricature of
caricature. She thinks it's caricature. That's what she said. She's not reading a teleprompter here. This is her speaking off the dome. This is how inexperienced. This is a 47-year-old woman, however old she is. Let me look up how old she is. 1970. She's 49.
What a fucking moron.
And she doesn't know the word caricature. She doesn't know that word. And she's trying to speak as an authority, as a fucking reporter. As a reporterature.
I loved
your fucking wife laughing her ass off.
But the last couple of...
I loved Curb Your Enthusiasm, but...
I love Curb Your Enthusiasm. I love watching it on mute.
But the last few seasons really haven't been that great. Didn't that show run for 20 years? I'm sure Larry David is equally as big a fan as the Rita Panihi show. That's the real content. He doesn't make real content like, the Rita Panihi show.
Lefty's Losing It. It's his favorite show.
Seasons.
That's what he based Seinfeld on.
A little bit. Still had a few good moments, but...
Shut up.
What a fucking glazer.
There's just a lot of weaker moments.
There's a lot of weaker moments. Nothing like good old Australian content like Kath and Kim and what is it? Lefties losing it. Real content.
Yeah, all the
she's
conservative Australian comedy, like.
What a fucking fool!
She's the authority on American politics and now comedy.
Yeah. Well, even trying to criticize Larry David, she's like, there's some strong moments. There's just some weaker moments in this show that's been running for 20 years.
You know what? No one can...
On a real network, by the way. On HBO again.
I do and I don't.
Be in peak condition throughout their comedy career, and I guess Larry David is an example of that. But that piece was just so pitiful.
How old is Larry David? Like 70 what? And also he made Seinfeld, another largely influential show. 77. Yeah. So I guess we'll tune in to Rita Panini in 30 years if she's still alive or has any relevancy and hasn't been just relegated to life support in some free healthcare hospital.
Beautiful, Josh.
That she criticizes.
And so cliched to go to a Hitler analogy. Really? I mean, like,
so
it's
cliche.
What would you have done?
Yeah, there's nothing cliched about.
And I don't know.
How do you know it was an
I thought he
analogy?
was above that.
I thought he was above that. Anyways, end of clip. I thought he was above that.
What's funny is, like...
It's so reductive, Siri.
What says it's an analogy? What says it's an analogy? You're the one putting those two fucking pieces together.
Dude, that was hilarious. That segment we just
personally
character
don't
chore.
like it. I feel like it would hurt all of the Hitler fans' feelings.
Yeah, who's she worried about offending here? How many views does this have? 500,000 views. Wow, really blowing up here.
Dang.
Yet nobody has an example of a thing he did. Trump did. Sure, Trump. Guys, I'm losing it.
Oh no.
You're losing it.
Trump
like
is
lefty.
Trump has incited ICE to has basically instilled the authority for them to break into people's houses and search them for illegal immigrants to then just deport without habeas corpus or anything. That's literally something that he has instituted and directed. That is something he did directly. So there you go. There's an example.
2021.
Yeah, January 6, 2021. We forget about that. People act like that was nothing. People have been trying to lie and say, like, it was the most, they facetiously go, oh my God, it was the most violent raid ever. They had like tour guides and stuff, and people were walking through and being escorted by officers, and it's like, people died.
Yeah, they drug a gallows.
Someone got an extra piercing between their fucking eyes by a police officer.
Well, several cops died.
Yeah, well, I don't care about them.
Well, yeah, but it's like, it was real peaceful. Yeah, the police were in control.
Bad.
Yeah, the police were totally in control there. You're just exaggerating. It's like police officers died.
As we see the footage of, like, 1 million people, like, ripping a police officer's arms off trying to get through the fucking fence.
Yeah. Dude, that is hilarious. We might have to check in more on Rita Panini, or if there are any more Rita.
We'll see.
We'll see.
It's almost as if Trump has become a caricature of his character on The Apprentice.
His demented attack against Bill Maher. Demented.
Below contempt.
Below contempt.
No child is non-binary. Calling someone Hitler is the laziest, most tired argument a person can make. She has a 3-year-old non-binary child and Trump is the problem? Yes.
Yes.
Next question. All right, guys.
Hang on. We have one more segment.
Do we?
Okay. So, Bruns, we tried to make this the clean episode. We really did, but there were some swears. And this is the part of the episode where the amount of swears I've tallied up is the amount of tornadoes that will go through your home. Now, if you calculate it, it appears we sweared 5,322 times.
Oh no.
Swear.
Oh,
yes!
It's happening.
It's tornado time. Oh my God. No! No, not Bronze, not him. He died so young. So young.
Good night.
That was actually